Hi guys, welcome to Nick's Knits Podcast. I'm Nick, also known as Knicks Knits on Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also find stuff out about the podcast, CALs, and other things that we're doing at my Ravelry group, which is Nick's Knits Podcast, spelled Knicks Knits Podcast. It's a group on Ravelry. And you can also find my blog and where all the podcast and show notes things are posted at www.knicksknits.com. So hi guys, welcome to the show. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. There are no new male knitters this week. I don't think I have anything else to say before I jump right into it. This is going to be probably another shorter episode. I did get a good amount of knitting done this week, which is good. But just not a lot to say. Just knitting is good. I'm enjoying knitting, and school is crazy. It's getting warm out, but we'll talk all about that later. Whips. I just finished a pair of socks, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, last night. And so the big thing that I just was working on just today was I'm doing an art project at school, and basically what it's about is our family. And so basically what you have to do is you have to, find a way to represent, through abstract sculpture, you have to find a way to represent your family. And so for the underlying base of the family, I'm just knitting a piece of fabric, very simple, out of just some string, which the school provided, because I could only use what the school provided me. Just simple, like, string that they got at some department store. At some store, hardware store, that's the word I was thinking of. Yeah, and then I plan to possibly do some little cuts in the knitting, so that it just section with section with section, and then my family members are going to be sitting on top of this. My family members are going to be all these different cubes, and they're all going to be different shape, or, at different points of, a perfect cube, a more slightly open cube that's not, perfect in every way, but none of the cubes are perfect. But anyway, I'll insert a photo of it once it's done, but it's just a simple knit cloth. I'm working on it with a size 8. I'm happy that I'm able to be knitting in art class. I'm almost done with this. Yeah, it's nice. Just gonna finish that up after the podcast. Let's spit out words and just see where it goes. Oh, whips. Oh, right here. My next whip, which is not a knitting whip, but a sewing whip, is I've been working on these dresses that I've been saying, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, and I finally have gotten to at least doing part of it. So this whip is my maxi dress. Now it's turned inside out because I'm in the middle of it because I had a little bit of a fight with my sewing machine. But let me show you. This mint is going to be the top. It's very nice. That's not, again, not showing up well. I really need to figure out a new lighting situation. I've been saying that over and over and over again, but I will figure it out. Something that's not. Actually, bringing in my light might be a good idea. Got to think about that. Anyway, yeah. So it's mint, and then on the body of the fabric, it's this really cool, like, tribal mint and coral fabric, which is really cool. And then the other dress that I'm doing is made out of this coral fabric, which is really nice, and this chevron and mint, this mint and coral chevron. This is going to be the top. The coral is going to be the bottom. So that's coming along. Just working on it. I'll talk about my sewing machine later, but it's not being cooperative. But I will get to it. I think that's it for whips. I'm definitely going to, this week, I'm going to try to cast on a bunch of new stuff, which I'll kind of talk about in a little bit. But I want to get some new stuff casted on, kind of get something new going. Because I've just kind of been in the doldrums when it comes to knitting and, taking too long to knit something. So I need some instant gratification something. So my FO of the week is the Lang, I talked about them last week, Lang Yarns. I'm going to try and pronounce this again. Action. A-K-T-I-O-N. Lang Yarns Action. And it's these two socks. It's a self-patterning yarn for a friend who lives in the UK. So I'll probably send those off tomorrow. Get them all packed up. They're these really cool socks. If you've ever, heard of, these are like really nice self-patterning socks. Love them. Should have 1x1 for the rib. I always do 1x1 because it's always a little more stretchy. So even if I don't get the measurements just right, it will stretch out and kind of stick a lot better. I did my classic heel gusset, all that sort of stuff. Heel flap and gusset, and my tail. Simple. What's really cool about that, I'm not sure if I talked about this, but what's really cool about this yarn is it comes with a spool of the same yarn dyed in the same way, except this is 100% nylon. So even though this is I think this is, it might be 100% wool, I'm not sure, but you take this which is in the exact same pattern, you find at which part in the yarn you are here and match it up with this, and then you double it as I did here on the heel. You double it, and it basically just, it makes it a little more supportive and tough wearing, which I love. It's great, and it's a good thing to have. It's just a nice little spool. Like, they stick it in the inside of the ball. It's really nice. I like it. And that's in my Bakery Bears Star Wars. I'm going to talk about sci-fi, all that sort of stuff, just at the end of the show. But yeah, that was basically my knitting. I was happy that I got these done because I just want to have them done this week, so then I can kind of, new palette, fresh, just get going on some new stuff. And, Stash Dash is coming out for the Knit Girls. That might have already happened. I think that might have already started. But if it did, fine by me. Because a lot of stuff I'm planning is already in Stash. Ooh, I might have to put some of that stuff in Stash pages on Ravelry. Good idea, Nicholas. Anyway, yeah. So that is basically my knitting for the week. No new Stash enhancement, which is good. I did, yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, and we'll talk about Plucky Knitter in a second. But upcoming, I plan on casting on a new pair of socks, and a very nice viewer, this is probably a month ago at this point, sent me, she's from the UK, Sarah, who is Sahepworth on Ravelry, and she knit a ton of socks for the Spring and Socks Cal. She sent me, you guys have probably heard of the Regia design line, Arnie and Carlos yarn, which is awesome. I love this yarn. I wanted to get it, but the trouble was that it wasn't available in the US, and then when it was available in the US, because this is like a limited edition, they've only really done like 1 mil of this, and now it's done. The minute it came in the US, it just sold out. And so she very kindly sent me these 2 colorways. Let's see, what are the 2 colorways? I might not even say. I know that they have names, like real names. One's it's not in English, but here's one colorway. Are these the same? I don't think they're exactly the same. I don't know if they aren't. There's the colorway for that one, and the other one is this one. They're both like, it's summer night and fall night, possibly winter night, something along those lines. And there's Arnie and Carlos. They're on the tag here. Two nice guys. Sorry, you can't really see that very well. They are from Norway. I'm gonna say Norway. I'm sorry if I'm incorrect. Yeah. I'm gonna say Norway. and they do these really cool Christmas balls, which I've talked about in an earlier podcast. But I took a class with them at Vogue Knitting Live. It was awesome, a lot of fun, and I would like to do some before Christmas this year. But once fall rolls around, you'll see, September. This year I want to start, the minute I start school, I want to start doing Christmas knitting. Because I'm always pressed at the end, but I think this year I can get it all done. Or not, like I've always gotten it all done. I've always had a present for somebody, but, I just want to get early so that I'm not, rushing at the end. But that's that. Yeah, that's upcoming. There's some new stuff upcoming for me, but I won't talk about all of it. I just thought I might show you guys that. Yeah. So, question for me, question for you. Question of the week for you is, do you guys have any ideas on how to clean out a sewing machine? Or, I know a lot of you guys are sewers out there, so, how do you take out your, how do you just, or how would I put it this way? I'll give you my predicament, and you guys can give me a good idea of what I should do. So I've been sewing, and I was sewing fine on those dresses, and I got the part where the solid meets the pattern, and, it was it was fine. And then I got to sewing up the back, so I have to sew up the back. When I was doing that, the sewing machine, when I would put it through, I would get these weird things where it wouldn't move, and then I'd pull it out, and a bunch of strands would be coming out the bottom, all looped strands. What I'm wondering is that a problem? Should I be cleaning out my sewing machine? Is there something that's going wrong? I think it might have to do with my bobbin, but I'm not entirely sure. So if you guys kind of understand what I'm saying and have any ideas for what do you think I could do, I'm going to try it again tonight and see if it works. If not, for my craft club, somebody donated to me a sewing machine, so I might just have to steal that away for a couple days to use, and hopefully that works. But yeah, it's a Husqvarna Viking sewing machine. I like it a lot. It's been a great machine. I haven't used it as much as I wanted to, but I really like it, and it's fun. So, and there's no question for you, or for me this week. Just haven't gotten any questions in the question thread. But please post. It's something, I can't exactly remember the name of the thread, but it has something to say like, questions for me. And just post something if you have any questions, anything at all. I love answering questions. So please do post there. That would be awesome. Knitting Club update. It's still going slow. I think it's going to be like that till the end of the year. I think in the fall, a lot of people are going to get more excited because it's cold out. It's getting colder. They want to sort of make stuff. I think there was a lot of excitement in the winter, but I think now that it's spring, everyone's just like, oh, let's go outside, have fun with that. So it's good, though. I have a couple good committed members. I'm going next Saturday. I'm taking my club to my yarn shop. Ooh, I'm going to talk about that right after I talk about the yarn shop trip. So yeah, I'll have about 8-9 kids. It'll be nice. My club advisor, or the faculty advisor to my club, is going to drive the bus for us. It's about half an hour away from my school. So we'll go there, have a nice hour or two there, and go and get some ice cream, and then head back to school. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and I think they'll really enjoy it. It's kind of a shame. There are a couple that are just too busy and going to be going home over the weekend and whatever, so they couldn't come. But I have a good group of about 7, I think, at this point. But I'm assuming I'll get close to 10, but I wouldn't expect to be any more than that. So yeah, just winding down the year, and I think everyone's sort of crazed, and so I think everyone would kind of just like to finish out the year, and we'll, pick it back up in the fall, and I think there'll be more excitement then, which is fine. It's good. So, as I was saying, my yarn shop. I know I've talked about it before. Pins and needles. And she just opened, you know, I'm actually going to have to look this up. I'm so sorry. But she basically just opened up an online shop where you can buy, because I know I showed you guys that sweater kit, which I'm going to show you in a second. And so she just opened up that shop, and yeah, okay, fine. She just opened up an online shop. So all of those, this sweater which I showed you, made out of Spud and Chloe sweater, and with the fabric covered buttons that my yarn shop maker makes herself. She makes these really nice these buttons. They're fabric covered, really, really nice. I really like them. Still have to work on this sweater. I have to get something baby going soon. That'll be another thing I would like to do this week. So I'll have a little more free time, which I will also talk about later. But yeah, so if you go to www.pinsandneedles.biz, I'm going to write this down in my show notes. www.pinsandneedles.biz. You will be able to find, you know, it'll say something like shop online. And she's going to be selling her baby sweater patterns, her covered buttons, just singly. The baby sweater kit comes with enough yarn to make the baby sweater, a fabric covered button set, and the yarn. I said yarn already. Just the pattern, covered buttons, and the yarn. She's also going to be selling, as I said, the covered buttons by themselves, and then the sundress kits, which I don't think I've showed. I don't have the dresses, but I made a set, and it's made out of the Taki Cotton Classic, which I've shown. It's just very simple mercerized cotton, and she gives you the pattern, enough yarn, and the fabric, and she's really good about matching pattern with fabric and that sort of stuff. And then she's going to be selling 3 yarns, I think. Yeah, 3 yarns. She's going to be selling Spud and Chloe sweater, I think. Yep, Spud and Chloe sweater. She's going to be selling Wepaka, which is, they make a yarn called, hold on, let me see. It's a really good baby yarn. It's a really soft, nice merino. I think it's just called Wepaka, maybe. Yeah, just Wepaka, I think. Yeah. It's a great great yarn. So you can buy that on her website, and then you can also buy the shop's own yarn, which is called Princeton Alpaca Silk, I think it's called. Yeah, Princeton Alpaca Silk. And that's a really nice yarn. It's a little bit pricey. It's about $23, I'd say about $23 per skein, but it's a wonderful yarn. She had it custom milled for her, and it's a really nice, like if you want a densely knit hat or a densely knit whatever, it's a great yarn. So please go and check her out. She has great stuff on her new shop, and I think you guys would really like it. And they're affordable. It's not like it's overly expensive. You know, for a baby sweater kit, let me just see how much it costs here. For a baby sweater kit, it's, you know, $27, which for a baby sweater, is, I'm pretty sure it's machine washable. Let me just double check on that. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a machine washable, if not, you know, hard wearing yarn, with really great color combos and just like, you know, a fun little pattern. It probably takes about 2 weeks to knit, and it's just a really fun pattern. So please go and check her out. I'm going to say her website one more time, www.pinsandneedles.biz. And it's wonderful that she's selling online, because now you guys can get, because, you know, it's fun, because she's one of those yarn shop owners that doesn't just sell the name brand yarn. She likes to bring in things like her own patterns, her own fabric covered buttons, and kind of put her own little twist on things. And I really like that. Her name is, I keep on saying her name is Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. She is wonderful. She is, I could not ask for a better yarn shop in my area. You know, it's very bright, and there's always fun new yarns to look at, and she's just a great person overall. And yeah, so please go and check that out, just to look at it. Cal, let's get on with the Cal. So the Cal that we will be doing from today, so today is May 10th all the way to June 10th, so it's only going to be for 1 month. We're going to be doing a Plucky Knitter Cal. So basically what that's going to be is Plucky Knitter. Let me see if I can pull out one of my skeins here, if I have easy access, which I don't think I do. I do not. But the Plucky Knitter is a great yarn company, and they make really nice semi-solid yarns that are awesome. I love their yarn. It's so beautiful. And I thought I might do a Cal. So basically the main rule is your project has to be made out of Plucky Knitter yarn. Now I know for somebody who doesn't have Plucky Knitter stashes, it's going to be a little bit of a harder one to follow along with. But yeah, just, I'd say the best way to get their yarn instantly is via Ravelry stash pages. So if you go onto any yarn page, you'll see in the on the top bar, there's the top bar that has pattern, yarn group, all that sort of stuff. Below that it'll say details, a certain number stashed. Click on that. It says, let's say it says 2,000 people. It just says 2,000 stashed. Click on that, and then you can, kind of narrow down your search to kind of see if, who is willing to sell their stash to you. And you can totally just buy it straight from that person. I should have told you guys. I can't believe I forgot. But actually this Friday, the Plucky Knitter had an instant gratification update, which is basically just they send it out instantly. Because with a lot of their updates, it's a lot of pre-order updates where they die to order. So with this, I should have told you guys. But yeah, the Plucky Knitter Cal. One project equals one post, as I've done in the past. So if you knit 5 hats with all made with Plucky Knitter yarn, then you get 5 posts, 5 entries. Yeah, and then the only other way that you could probably get Plucky Knitter yarn, nobody carries it. The only other way to get Plucky Knitter yarn is via an update. And the best way to keep up to date with their updates is to go on their website and sign up for their newsletter. It's the best way to find out about that stuff. But I would say the best way for last minute is just order, try and get it via a Ravelry stash page. But if you do have Plucky Knitter, good for you. You can totally knit some stuff. I just thought this would be a nice little fun 1 month thing. I won't do something on the other half of June just because I'll be getting ready to go away to camp, which I've already talked about. But yeah, I just get your Plucky Knitter stuff together. I'll put up the Cal chatter and FO thread tonight. And have a great time. Enjoy, Go knit some Plucky Knitter stuff. They have wonderful yarn, wonderful patterns, but this is only for yarn. It has to be made out of Plucky Knitter yarn. Yeah. So that's that. That's really the end of my show. The only other thing, I'll just go into blabber. Weather. It's supposed to get up to 84 today. It's really beautiful out. It's getting almost a little too hot for my liking, but I'll take anything. It's as long as it's sunny out, I could care less what the temperature. If it was 10 degrees out and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, I'm happy. But, as long as it's sunny and it's bright, I love it. School. School's very busy. I have about 3 weeks left of normal school, and then I have my exams the first week in June. Just finishing it out. It's fun, It's nicer to have the nice weather while we're walking around, and so, yeah, it's beautiful out. Then, spring. I think spring is kind of being pushed out at this point. Summer's trying to hog up a lot of the time. That happens often in New Jersey, where it will just be basically winter, like a week or two of spring, summer. And that's exactly what it's been. It's been, winter, and then, some upper 70s, more like middle 70s, and then, upper 80s, middle 80s, very, very hot and sunny weather. So, it's good. All is well with that on the weather front, as I said. Sewing is going well, as I told you about that. I want to make sure that my sewing machine is working correctly, and I would like to get those dresses done. They're going to be done, hopefully, by the next podcast, but I don't think I'll have them with me, because who I'm giving them to, I'll have given them away by that point. But I'll take pictures of them and put them at the end of the podcast next week. New York Comic Con. I've been thinking about it recently because New York Comic Con tickets go on sale this Wednesday, May 13th. God, I can't believe I almost said March there. These spring months, just flying by. Yeah, I've never been before. I've just sort of, as I said, been starting to get into comics, and so I'm buying my ticket for October. It's, I think, the weekend before. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it's the weekend before Rhinebeck. 11th. Yeah, it's the weekend before Rhinebeck. So I'm going to that one of the days. It's Thursday. It's October 8th through the 11th, I think it is. Or 9th through the 11th. Let me double check that. Pretty sure it's 9th through the 11th. That's Comic-Con. Yeah, 8th through the 11th. Sorry, the 8th through the 11th. So that's going to be fun. As I said, I've never really gotten into comics until now. I've always liked them, but now I'm really starting to get into them. And so I'm going to go for one of the days. It's in New York City at the Javits Center. And so it should be a good time. I'm excited to go. I'm somebody who plans very far ahead. Like, whenever I've gone to Vogue Knitting Live, the minute that the classes have gone on sale, within the next couple of weeks, I've bought the classes. And that's like, 5 months away. I know when I grow up I'll be one who plans my vacations far in advance and plans everything out. My family likes to do some more last minute stuff, or stuff that's not last minute, but a month, 2 months in advance. I like to plan out far. So New York Comic Con, and then I'm also been thinking about, because New York Comic Con is going on sale, I've been thinking about Rhinebeck. And this year I'm going to Rhinebeck, which I'm so excited about. I've never been before. I've never been to a sheep and wool festival. I know Rhinebeck is absolutely insane, but I'm so excited to go. I know it's just going to be such a great time, and I'm really excited to go. I know that Vogue Knitting Live is great, but I think Rhinebeck is even bigger, and you get to see the sheep, and it's just going to be so much fun. And I'm really excited. So I have to buy we're going to reserve hotel rooms for that this week as well. So I want to get that just in, so that hotels aren't selling out and we just don't have a room to stay in. So there's that. Yeah. So I hope you all have a very wonderful week. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for being great mothers. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for being a wonderful mother and a wonderful person and supporting me throughout all of my adventures in knitting and other hobbies, and always just supporting me for whatever I may want to do. So thank you, Mom. Thank you to all moms out there, and have a great week. Make sure that you go and check out show notes at www.knixknits.com and let me know what you think. Post in the podcast suggestions thread in the group and let me know, what can I do better with the podcast? Is there something I should add? Is there something I should take out? Let me know. So have a wonderful week, and I will see you all soon. Next Sunday is when I will see you, the 17th. Have a great week. Happy knitting. Bye, Centennial.